If we're in Minecraft, do I still have to go through bag check? Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Day in the Parks. It's a new series I'm trying out. To explain it simply, it is just me spending some time in these wonderful Minecraft servers, not really with an agenda to promote something or interview anybody or do anything specific, just to sort of spend some time on the server and ride some of the rides and spend, a day in the parks. It's funny, making all these videos this whole time, people have asked me to do like longer tours of the parks, and I was always confused by that a little bit because I feel like my Minecraft Disney World series kind of covered that. You'd pick a specific ride that you liked, and there'd be a good dedicated 5 to 10 minutes all about that ride. And you could just pick all the rides you wanted and get a sort of look at that. But then people kept asking for these tours, and I didn't really understand why that was more preferable to like Minecraft Disney World. And they wanted me to go and ride these rides and just spend some time in the parks. And that confused me because in my mind, when I was making these videos, they were sort of a way to promote the server itself, right? Get people to check it out for themselves. I always try to give them a little taste so that if they want to see more, they can hop on the server and explore it, because I do think checking these out in person is an experience that is just unmatched by watching a video, as much as I love that you guys watch my videos. But then, of course, it hit me that like not everybody has the PC and Mac version of Minecraft, and so not everybody can just hop on and explore it for themselves. And it was always like something I was trying to like finally balance, because I didn't want to give everybody a complete experience on the server. I wanted people to hop on and check it out, but I do recognize there are some people who can't do that. So I figured this is a nice little middle ground. I'm not going to spend a whole day here on the server. It'll be like, I'm thinking like a 15 to 20 minute video. I'm just going to check out a specific part of a server. I think each episode will be a different server, a different park. And, if there are some facts out there, I'm going to throw them out there because, I feel like that's what I just naturally do. We're here on MC Magic. We're at the Disney's Hollywood Studios. I felt like this would be a fitting first episode because they just recently released the new version of Hollywood Studios. And while I did get to check it out, I was making like the comparison video. I didn't necessarily get to go in depth and check out all the rides. So we're going to do that. So we're here. We're going to go, we'll do Standby. I love this ride. It's funny, Kat rode it for the first time this summer, and she does not ride roller coasters, or at least she didn't ride roller coasters beforehand, and so she was really getting herself like worked up over riding it, and now she really likes it. She likes it a lot, actually. So, it's we jumped on the Fast Pass. It's a continuing tradition where everyone just seems to love this ride. I don't know anybody who hates this ride. It's just too fun. The pre-show will be available soon. Pardon our pixie dust. So I'm not using the audio server. I am going to do all the audio and posts like I usually do, mainly because, copyrighted music. There's some stuff you can play, some stuff you can't. And so, that's just the way it goes. I'm excited to check this out. Let's join the queue. We'll just hang out here, I guess. Yeah, we'll just chill here. I am going on a short trip in August for a weekend. I'm going to be there for 2 days. We're going to do half a day in Epcot, half a day here in Hollywood Studios, and then 2 half days in the Magic Kingdom. And it's kind of interesting because with everything closed here, it really has become like a half-day park again. That's just sort of what happened. Not that that's a bad thing. It's like that because they're working on so much new stuff, but it makes it a lot easier to do like a quick 2-day. Wow, this is so good. It makes it easier to do a quick 2-day trip. I love that they have the animated signs. Oh, this is so cool. Now I wonder, I don't know if they do it or any server does it, but any server that could get the mine carts to go back a little bit before it launches, just like in real life, would be awesome. I don't know if it's going to do that. Probably not. I would be really surprised. That would be an insane attention to detail. Face forward. Oh, that's what we're doing. Keep your head back. Okay, I'm doing that. Here we go. Yeah, see, this would probably play some Aerosmith music, would get me in some YouTube trouble. Oh, here we go. Oh. That's sort of like a semi-loop there. Oh, this is such a great ride. Oh, what? The Hollywood sign? That's so cool. Oh, tell me the donut's in it. I want to see the donut. Nope, that's a traffic sign. Where's the donut? Was that the donut? No, that can end up. Donut's pink. Where's the donut? It's a little laggy here. It is a Friday night that I see the donut. It's Friday night that I'm recording, so there's like something like close to 300 people on the server right now. So it's to be expected. Oh my gosh. There's the donut. Oh, okay, we went through the donut. That's good. Whew. And we're back. One of my favorite rides here at Hollywood Studios. Let's see if we could get on the Tower of Terror. Another great one. This one, story time. Another one that Kat had never ridden and she was super scared about. And she rode it, so she was brave enough to ride it. But when she rode it, she grabbed my arm so hard that I had...
You keep looking at me.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at you because I'm telling...
Are you trying to get me to contribute to this?
I'm telling the story about this. You grabbed my arm so hard I had black and blues for a couple of days.
I still have that picture on my phone, and I think we should save it for posterity. Maybe.
It's just a photo of an arm with two little bruises on it. There's not a lot of context.
No, yeah, but like if people, it could be like a later gram. Remember that time?
Remember that time?
Throwback
Bruises.
Thursday to the time Kat flipped out on Tower of Terror. Like, I don't think I ever flipped out so hard in my life. Honestly.
But you're going to ride it again, right?
Oh, yes, of course I'm going to ride
Perfect.
it again.
All right.
Of course I'm going to ride it
And
again.
we're going to ride
My
it right
strategy
now.
is, if we have a fast pass, I have to go.
Good.
Like, that was my strategy. Is that, like, well, we got the fast pass. We can't waste it, even if I'm scared.
Oh, all right, here we go. We got the pre-show. Again, using the animated sort of painting plugin to just play the whole thing, and you sync the audio. That's really cool. Oh, using some... I wonder if they're going to do lighting effects for the lightning. Where's the window in here? I bet this is where the light's going to be. Let me see. Oh my gosh, it's the raining because it's a rainy night. Oh, this is cool. So I feel like MC Magic over the years has started to take a little bit more of like a liberal interpretation of some of these, you know, not exactly one-to-one. It doesn't rain in the pre-show room, but I love that they use effects like that to sort of add to the atmosphere. It feels like a lot of these servers have taken an approach where they're not trying to create a perfect copy of the experience, or at least they're not trying to create a perfect copy of the building as much as they're trying to create a perfect copy of like the feeling and experience you get when you're riding it. And I think it's a totally good direction for all these servers to take, because again, when you have 1 meter blocks, you know, it's hard to do a perfectly accurate representation. Like, these rooms are kind of tiny, but that's sort of just how it goes. You find that balance, you know. I'm also impressed with just how many animated stills they're using for the pre-show. Here's that lightning. Whoop, whoop. What was that? Oh, and we're off. There we go. Someone else on? Oh, yeah, there's someone else there. Let's see. We're going to go hop online. Funny thing about this queue. I've been riding this ride, I want to say since I was like 13 or 14. That one's out of service. Are they all out of service? Is that like the thing? Out of service. Is there one that's in service? Ah, okay, this one. I've been riding this for over a decade now at this point, and I never thought about it consciously, but you don't actually descend into anything when you're on this queue. You go in one side of the room, you come out the other side of the room, and you're in the basement. And do not enter the cart, you'll be pulled in automatically. I never thought about it. It always just felt like you were in a basement. I think the transition from the lobby to the basement is just so smooth and seamless that, like, for me, it didn't even occur to me until I think it was just like a couple of trips ago when I realized that we were still on that same level. Ooh, spooky. Oh, I love it. I love this. Tower of Terror seems to be one of those super popular ones that every time a ride gets remade, like, this is one of the ones they do. So fun fact about this ride, you're actually not free falling when you get pulled down. Or I should say, like I just said, you get pulled down. A lot of these rides will do a free fall where it just lets you go and it's on some sort of track and it free falls down. Tower Terror actually uses motors to pull the cart down. So you're actually being pulled down faster than gravity would allow. So it sort of creates a more extreme situation. This, of course, is my least favorite part of the ride. Well, it's both my least and most favorite part of the ride. It is my least because this whole part doesn't really do it for me. Like, now it takes a photo of you when you get to that first floor so it can show it here later in the glass, but it's so warped and low quality that you don't actually notice it, and it doesn't look very good. But this is my favorite part of the ride, coming up with like the like pitch black with the white elevator door lines like that, which is awesome, by the way, that they do that. Here we go to the drop. I can't wait to ride this in a couple of weeks. Well, this is a slow drop. Or is it? Up, up. Is that a fall? Oh, and here we go. Nice view. Oh, I'm so excited to ride this. We're going up again? Yes, we are. Oh, they even animate the doors opening and closing. That's awesome. And we're done. Now it's giving us a warning about the Twilight Zone. Now, in this area, in the real ride, I don't know if it's on both tracks or all of the elevators or whatever, but you can sometimes, or maybe all the time, see one of the dummies, the wooden dummies from the Twilight Zone itself. If you're a fan of the Twilight Zone, if you've never seen the Twilight Zone, you're like a younger viewer, you've heard of it, you know it from the ride, but you never watched the show. I do believe it's on Netflix and Hulu, and I'm pretty sure you could probably find episodes on YouTube, because this is the sort of thing where it's so old that nobody's really aggressively protecting it. But check it out. It is one of the most smartly written shows of its time. You know, Sci-Fi is known for being able to make commentary on contemporary political and social issues and hiding it under sci-fi, and that's exactly what Rod Serling did. And you know, at the time, it was mostly about things like the Cold War and the Red Scare and things like that, and he was able to say things about the Red Scare in criticism of it that he would not have gotten away with if it was a show about the Red Scare. But by like dressing it up with like aliens or post-apocalyptic stuff and just weird supernatural things, it just went over the heads of the type of people who would be super sensitive to it. And he was just a very, very talented and smart writer. And so everybody owes it to themselves to check out the Twilight Zone. Anyway, let's see. Phantasmic. I think Phantasmic, I mean, I don't know if when I'm going to next see that. Because now they've got the Star Wars fireworks. Got a couple cast members chilling out here. People just chilling. Just hanging out. Maybe we should check out Star Tours. We could walk over there. We'll ride Star Tours. And then, you know, then maybe we'll call it. No, maybe we'll do one more after that, and then we'll call it a day. A day at the parks. This is always the sort of path I take. I was always right down Sunset Boulevard first. I just love that area. I love that whole recreation of like 1930s, 1940s Hollywood, which is partially why I really, really like Disney's California Adventure, because they do the same thing over there with Carthay Circle and things like that. I believe they have the Hyperion Theater over there. Yeah, that's where they do Frozen now, or they used to do Aladdin. It's just a really cool area. Twilight Zone sort of feels out of place that around there, but you know, everything else is pretty cool. Oh, it's the water fountains. Does water come out? Yes, it does. Awesome. Yeah, I wish the water pressure was that good at Disney. If they wanted to make it realistic, it would be just like a really slow dribble that you have to put your mouth over the water fountain nozzle. I want to go in and see what this... Ooh. Screen looks a little smaller, but I really like the texture. And the cars look way better. I gotta eat here sometime. So now in the real Hollywood studios, you can't go back here. There's a board blocking off this whole area. I guess because it's Minecraft, they have no need or reason to do that in this version. So it's a nice way to see part of the park that you can't actually see anymore. And I'm sure once Star Wars Land's open, they'll quickly start to get to work on building it in Minecraft, and then they'll swap it out. But that's going to be a year or 2 or 3, a couple of years. Refurbished. Okay, so we'll try Great Movie Ride. We'll save Toy Story for another day, and then we'll call it a day at the parks here. What I plan to do with this series is it's not going to be every week. It's going to be every couple of weeks. I want to alternate between this and doing something a little more structured with the servers, you know, whether it's interviews or sneak peeks or things like that. And we're like the other looks at the servers, we're going to bounce around. It's not always going to be MC Magic. We'll do MC Parks. We're going to do MC Amusement. We're going to do Hyperion Parks. Like all these servers, we're going to bounce around and just explore them for a bit and chat Disney and have a good time. Let's see. Is this open? Wait times. All right. 19 minutes long. That can't be real. All right. Let's hop on. We're going to hop on the back here. I love this room. I love this room in real life too, because it is partially like outdoor for indoor, which anybody who watches my videos knows I love. And it's just got that movie set feel. And, you know, it was a very short-lived career, but I did work in the film industry, the indie film industry, for like a little bit, for like a couple of years. I was working on sets. And, you know, for as much as I decided ultimately I didn't want to work there anymore, there were moments where there was like that movie magic where just like all the sets are set up and everything's in place and you've been putting together this shot for like, you know, sometimes hours, and then it all happens and it either works really well or it doesn't, and, you know, it makes for a really good time. Are we going to move anytime soon? Now, this ride was recently refurbished. It used to be sponsored just by Disney. Disney ran it for the longest time, and then TCM, Turner Classic Movies, took over sponsorship for a bit, and part of that included a partial refurbishment. The biggest changes being that they had, what's his name? Maybe it says it here. They had their host do a lot of voiceover narration during the ride, so the onboard tour guide does a lot less than they used to. And then they refurbed the montage at the end, as well as the queue room, like movie reel, to be somewhat like promotion for TCM, and that's fair. That's what these sponsorships are for. I personally don't think it's as good as the older version, mainly because I think the montage at the end is not as emotionally stirring as the older one was. The older one got to me every single time. It was my favorite part of the ride. I wish I had like a high def quality version of that montage somewhere, like that wasn't bootleg, but like that Disney put out, because it was so good. This newer version doesn't work as well. You can clearly tell that there's some sort of cross promotion going on because they feature some movies that personally don't deserve it. That said, I do think the pre-show reel does do a lot better now than it did back then. Back then it was just a sort of looping reel of trailers for old movies, and that in itself was good. But now you have a lot of history surrounding these films, and, you know, it's sort of that idea of education, entertainment, and it works really well, and I like it a lot. As for the voiceover during the ride itself, I actually can take it or leave it. It didn't really matter much to me. Wow, these are some detailed sets. I love it. Okay, so we have gone way over the time for this episode. I don't know. We'll play around with the length of them in future episodes. I want to thank you for joining me. Let me know if this is something you're into. Do you want to see more of things like this? Just walking around the parks and talking Disney and exploring them sort of uncut and unedited? Let me know. You can let me know in the comments below, or you can let me know on Twitter. I'm at RobPlays. My question for you all in this video is, what do you think? If you've ridden the new Great Movie Ride, what are your thoughts on all the changes? Do you like them all, hate them all, some, little bit of each? How do you think it could be better? Let me know in the comments below. If you want more Disney videos like this, whether it's Minecraft Disney or tips and history and Q&As and all that sort of good stuff, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It's 3 videos a week right into your inbox. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it because it makes it that much better. And I'll see you all next time for a day in the parks. Bye, everybody. we're walking over to the Space Mountain attraction. Of course, this one's a little different than all of the other space mountains around the world. This has more of a Jules Verne feel to it. And the reason for that being that this is Europe. Europe didn't have the same sci-fi, history that the United States has.